And hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the NASCAR Mock season here on the MSC Network. I'm Carlos Zimmerman. It's time for race 5 of the 2026 NASCAR Mock season. Glad to have you with us from Las Vegas Motor Speedway in Sin City, Nevada, as we get ready for 107 laps of action around this 1.5 mile oval to determine who will be race number 5 winner of the NASCAR Mock season. We've already got a multi-race winner in Tyler Reddick. A great start to the year, but oddly enough, ladies and gentlemen, still finds himself not in the points lead. He is 3 points out of the points lead, which is mind-boggling that Chris Buescher was able to hang on to the points lead after a tumultuous finish at Phoenix, the only race where he has not finished inside the top 10 so far this season. You have your starting lineup here on the left side of your screen. Alex Bowman is the man that is on the pole for this race, opposite of the outside pole sitter, Ryan Blaney. You see Cindric and Wallace make up row 2, and then you see the rest of the field. Some cars that are mired towards the back of the pack going to have to work their way to the front. William Byron, he is mired back, starting 35th on the field today. And then some other cars as well. Chase Briscoe, he's starting 24th. Connor Zilic, 27th. And Cole Custer starting 29th. Some guys that have shown some speed as of late are going to have to work their way from the back to the front if they want to come out on top in this race today. So why don't we get ready for the command to fire up these engines. 107 laps here around the track at Las Vegas. Gonna make for an interesting one, to say the least. Race number 5 of the 2026 NASCAR Mock season. It's gonna be fun, and we hope you strap in for these 107 laps of action around the 1.5 mile oval here in the Nevada desert. Let's get the command to fire them up.
Drivers, start your engines!
Stars will scoot on by your screen, and they are ready to take to the field for 107 laps. Pit window falling roughly between 25 and 30 laps, so there will be pit stops that move into the back of these drivers' minds as we get you out to our TV cams here at Las Vegas. Ryan Blaney and Alex Bowman again on the front row for this one. We may not do TV2 today. That's an interesting angle. We may drop into TV1 for the majority of this race. What's the spectator cam look like? I actually haven't checked it out. It's truly a spectator cam. That's quite interesting. Again, 1.5 mile oval, 107 laps, pit window around 25 to 30. Alex Bowman trying to get his season together. Our winner from Auto Club on the pole for this race. Marks his first pole of the season. A bad finish last week at Phoenix, and he is trying to make Kyle Matthews, Charles Sanford proud, trying to keep himself in that ride beyond 2026. That's the big question mark going into the year. So we'll see if he can punctuate that in this early season, if he can go pole to win here today at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Toyota Camry pace car is in. Bowman and Blaney ready to get us to the green flag, and we are off and racing here in Las Vegas. Bowman settles into the lead. It'll be Austin Cindric right there on his back bumper as he abandons his teammate Ryan Blaney as they head down into 3 and 4. Bubba Wallace settling into that third spot, as Cindric trying to move Bowman up ever so slightly here as they come off the corner. And at the stripe, side by side, it's Bowman that comes out on top with the lead, but he won't hold it for long, as here comes the 2 of Austin Cindric. Cindric 14th in points. Trying to have a good race today. Gonna need it, to say the least. Your leaderboard up there in the top left corner of your screen. As they come off of 4, Bowman with a little bit of good speed off of 4, that outside line prevails, and he leads yet another lap. Bubba Wallace settles into 3rd, but here comes Ryan Blaney to his inside. Yeah, we're not using that TV2 camera. That whatever that light, the caution light, just gets in the way. Cindric now settles into the lead. Meanwhile, side by side for second, Bubba leaning on Alex Bowman there just a little bit, but they settle it out single file as they head for turn number 1 and completing lap number 3. And outside seems to be the place to be coming off of turns 2 and 4. Yikes. Denny Hamlin nearly got hooked right there by the 60 of Ryan Preece. That got pretty dicey pretty quick. Denny Hamlin in the Yahoo colors. He's up to 8th in points. Currently 10th on the racetrack. Speaking of points, there's our points leader, Chris Buescher, up in the 9th spot right now. As these guys continue to jockey for positions. 3-point advantage, mind you, over Tyler Reddick, who won last time out at Phoenix. Running 9th right now in the Farm Rich Ford colors there for Team RFK. Talking about RFK, they've been pleased with how this season has transpired so far. Team owners Levi McIntyre and Tim Fiegel. Buescher, first in points. Brad Keselowski was second going into Phoenix, but had a tough race, fell back to 5th. In points now. Looking for Ryan Preece. He's the one that's had some woes this year, and to say the least, he's 34th in points, trying to figure it out. Only one top 10 on the season right now. He runs 11th on the grid for the moment. So that's the one they're trying to see if they can get going pretty soon. They've really settled it out single file here. No one able to gain an edge, and it's all happening behind Austin Cindric, who has led the early going so far. Bowman settled into 2nd. Bubba is 3rd. And, you know, these guys, they're trying to maybe just take it easy. Be smart with how they run. And whoa. Brad K and Christopher Bell leaning on each other there into turn 2. They settle it out. But my goodness, that was near disaster right there, as Buescher's going to use that outside to his advantage, and he's going to get around Bell for the 8th spot on the racetrack. Now run behind his teammate in Brad Keselowski. Now he'll try to dive into the inside, but doesn't seem that inside has much of a run. Who's up here that we haven't talked about? There's Tyler Reddick, last week's winner from Phoenix Raceway in the Jordan colors today. He has done fairly well, to say the least, so far this year. 2 wins, all those coming from the top 10. 3 wide, nearly for 2nd, as Bubba's trying to use a little bit of momentum down towards the back straightaway, trying to wrestle 2nd place away from Alex Bowman, but that outside's going to prevail here as they enter the corner, and that's not going to pay off for Tyler Reddick either, as he is now under fire from the 22. Man, 45 may have gotten the wall right there, and I think he did, and now he's going the wrong direction. 6 starts to slide up a little bit. Reddick only going to try to attempt to lose only 1 spot. So they diving into the corners here. RFK guys starting to lean on each other just a little bit. 20 now going to dive it to the inside of the 17, but thinks better. Tucks right back in front of his Gibbs teammate in Denny Hamlin. But again, it's all happening here behind Austin Cindric. Good run there through 1 and 2 for Bubba. Is it going to be enough to clear Bowman? He's going to have help here from Ryan Blaney down into 3 and 4. Drafting not as big of a case here at Vegas. Bowman powering it through the corner, but Bubba hanging tough here on the inside of Alex Bowman. Diving into 1 and 2 here. 23 trying to clear the 48. Just can't get that run. The 48, I think he's going to have enough. He's going to have enough manpower here to muscle it into 3 and 4 and hang on to 2nd place. But Austin Cindric loves to see this. And the 48 ultimately wins the battle. Now Bubba under attack by a couple of Penske cars, the 12 and the 22. Going to have some battling here into 1 and 2. Meanwhile, a little bit behind them, some side-by-side action. Brad Keselowski, Tyler Reddick. That battle, I believe, is for the 5th position on track. 45 is going to get a good run here, and his teammate, the 17's up there as well. 20 nearly got into the points leader, but they settle it out regardless, and that shuffled everybody behind them, and everybody trying to catch their breath after they nearly made contact in the 1 and 2. 3 wide for second as the 60 nearly got hooked by the 16, sliding up the racetrack. But they keep it clean and green so far here in Vegas. Let's go further to the back here as these guys continue to battle. Bowman now setting his sights on the 2 of Austin Cindric. Going to be tough to get around that 2 today, it feels like. We mentioned that William Byron had to work his way from the back to the front. He's back here in battle with Ty Dillon. Byron, 30th last time by at the line, 6th in points, didn't have a good qualifying run. He's going to need a lot of help to get back up to the front. Couple of Trackhouse cars, I should say, running nose to tail, 25-26, as they run SVG and Connor Zilic. Talking with Jack Mitchell, their team owner, alongside Seth Cole. They're just hoping for a breakthrough at some point for this team. They've had so many good runs throughout the season so far, but have not been able to close the deal. SVG ran well at Daytona and a couple of other races as well. Connor Zilic ran well at Daytona, wasn't able to close the deal there. It has been up and down for Trackhouse, to say the least, and as they run in points, they've got to figure some things out. Chastain, 21st in points. SVG is 28th. Connor Zilic leads all of them in 18th. Where is Ross Chastain? He's up here in 17th. Trying to work his way through the field, but they have once again settled it out more single file. I mean, these guys were starting to get a bit dicey for a good bit, so I don't blame them. The first pit stop looming here in Vegas as they've completed 18 of 107 scheduled. Bowman trying to build some momentum here to run down the 2 of Austin Cindric. Cindric has led the majority of this one so far. Cindric with a win today could vault himself into the top 10 in points. And that would prove big dividends for him as here we go. Battle on for second once again. Here comes Bubba. Blaney did not have really a good run at all. Bubba had a better one, but still can't quite clear the 48. 48's going to have the run here in the 3 and 4. It's about just finding the right spot on the track to have the run you want, as Bubba's still hanging tough on the inside of the 48 of Alex Bowman, the winner from Auto Club. Blaney's going to get a good run here into 1 and 2. Bubba still trying to clear the 48. Just still doesn't have that manpower to do it. And the 23 will settle back in the 3rd after yet making another attempt and trying to get by the 48. And again, Cindric loving that. Reddick settling here in the 6th, just outside the top 10. He would love to go back-to-back and be able to put a little bit more of a notion on this season. Wouldn't three wins in the first 5 races, wouldn't that be something for him? Crossover here as he dives to the inside of the 22. He's not going to have the momentum, though. And that actually may cost him here as Keselowski takes a peek. Now, Keselowski, because he took a peek, is now under fire from his teammate and the points leader in Chris Buescher. But Keselowski will have the preferred line into 1 and 2. And be able to hold on to his spot. It's really going to they're really going to start jockeying for spots when these guys start thinking about pit road. And it's about just figuring out the racetrack here in the early going. No one really else battling on track. Everyone else is pretty spread out. Here's William Byron. He finally got around Ty Dillon. Now he's trying to get around RCR's Austin Hill in that 33 United Rentals Chevrolet. Byron just slowly picking away at everybody, it feels like. Bunch of Chevys here mired deep in the field because of just pure starting position. One of them being last on the field, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. for Hayek, not where he wants to be. Manuel Hartnett with his driver in 33rd in points here in the early going of the season. Blaney thinking about third on Bubba, not able to get it. It has just been so hard to pass since the initial restart. Or start of this race, I should say, not restart. We have yet to have a caution, but green flag pit stops. They'll be here before we know it, and that'll really jumble this group up. But it has been all Austin Cindric so far here for Team Penske. Our lone trio ownership, Dylan Young, Michael Norman, Sean Henley. Talk about RFK having a great start to the year so far. It's been a really good job for the Gibbs camp, or not the Gibbs camp, goodness gracious, the Penske camp. It's Blaney trying again to get third away from Bubba, just not able to do it on the inside. Logano third in points. He is only 5 points behind Tyler Reddick. Or 2 points behind Reddick, 5 behind the points leader, Buescher. Oh boy, I think here we go. Pit stops. Here we go. Now underway. The window has opened here at lap 27. With 80 laps to go, Austin Cindric will bring it down. Leads Alex Bowman, Tyler Reddick, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Preece, Ross Chastain, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, and BJ McLeod are the group that come in the first round of pit stops. Looks like, and the 12 and company will be joining them. Meanwhile, Brad Kay decides to stay out an extra lap. So does Cody Ware and Cole Custer. And the 34 and the 7. Is the caution out? No, doesn't appear to be. Thought it may have been for a moment. But either way, pit stops going on right now. Brad Kay, Cole Custer, Cody Ware, Todd Gilliland, Daniel Suarez look to be the last ones to cycle through. 51 slowing into the corner, 41's coming in, and then that should bring the 34 and the 7 in as well. There you go. So we're still green flag racing, and it looks like Alex Bowman beat the 2 out of the pits, and he could very, by and large, cycle out as the leader. And it looks like he indeed will. Alex Bowman will be the new leader, beating Austin Cindric out of the pits. Looks like the 12 will come out third. Reddick gets the wall there with Hamlin coming off the corner. But they settle into 4th and 5th, it looks like. There's Bubba right there, Ross Chastain, Josh Berry and company with others going to be mixing in. We'll see how it cycles out once they come to the line. And there you go. Bowman assumes the race lead with a great pit stop. Cindric into 2nd. Blaney 3rd, Reddick 4th, Hamlin now 5th. Bubba Wallace 6th. Ross Chastain will cycle out 7th. Josh Berry 8th. Joey Logano 9th. And Ryan Preece rounds out the top 10. Joe's pitting early. Might be the case. Bell 11th. Chase Elliott 12th. Brad Kay ends up 13th out of the cycle. Ty Gibbs in 14th. The Dinger 15th. Hocevar 16th. How about BJ McLeod cycling out 17th? John Hunter Nemechek 18th. Not a great pit cycle for the points leader, Chris Buescher, as he's now fallen back to 19th. Zilich rounds out in 20th. So that's how they run out of the pits. Now bring us to our first voice break. For those of you wanting to get back to the live action and my commentary, go ahead and skip ahead to lap 40. So we take a voice break. Here from Las Vegas, Alex Bowman and Austin Cindric, your 2 leaders. Here in Las Vegas. Back here in Las Vegas, after that voice break, your race leader, Alex Bowman, continuing to pace the field here, holding off Austin Cindric for the time being. And these guys have really separated. Wonder what happened to this bunch. They were all pretty much close together. I believe maybe one of them got the fence. And that is what has caused a little bit of backlog amongst these guys as Blaney's trying to break away and now set his sights on running down the two leaders, Bowman and Cindric. Meanwhile, battle back here for the fifth spot. Ross Chastain trying to get by Tyler Reddick, but it looks like Bubba wrestled fifth away from Reddick, and he'll hang on to sixth, will Tyler. And Chastain will settle in the seventh. You may have saw during that voice break, Josh Berry kind of sliding back the wrong direction. Was inside the top 10, but has now fallen back to 11th. Chase Elliott's going to stick it to the inside of the 21. Try to get a run on him with Brad Kay also all over the 9. And really, this top group has separated themselves from the rest of the field. A little gaggle back from 14th to 17th between Allmendinger, Ty Gibbs, Carson Hocevar, and JHN. And our points leader, Chris Buescher. And then there's a second group led by BJ McLeod, of all people, with Connor Zilich and Ty Dillon, and then the rest of the pack really mired back. Everyone's still on the lead lap. So these guys continue to battle here between the two purple cars, Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace. Denny Hamlin's a guy who's really hoping to have a good run today. 2 top 10s already on the year, but you look through the points, Ryan Blaney is really the guy that needs a boost. Lost 8 spots in the points after wrecking out at Phoenix. And is now running third behind his teammate. That's way up there with Alex Bowman in Austin Cindric. The 12 would love nothing more than a good points-paying day today to try and claw his way back up. When it comes to the chase, I know we're really early in the season. It's only a 28-point gap, so not terrible. As Bubba powers by Denny Hamlin for fourth. Just had a good run through 1 and 2 and was able to clear the 11 off of the corner. So a good run there by the 23, showing the power in that 2311 racing team for RJ Bishop and Nick Gunther. Bubba's another guy that would love a good points day. He's 24th in points after wrecking out at Phoenix. 1 top 5 on the season so far. Having a good run so far here today in Las Vegas. About 2 seconds between Bowman and Cindric, as Cindric now right there on that left rear quarter panel of the 48, thinking about when is he going to make a move to try and get the lead back. And everyone behind him, they have slowly been chipping away at the gap as Cindric continues to try and bide his time. Still a long way to go. We're nearing halfway. But yeah, you can start to see those guys get back into the picture. See the intervals this time by as Bowman did a good job holding off Cindric. Did that build up a little bit more speed and a gap to get away from them? No. And now they're going to get side by side here into 1 and 2. Battle on for the race lead here at lap 49 of 107. Austin Cindric trying to get to the inside of the 48, but just can't quite muscle it as Bowman continues to show good pace. At the line this time by. Last time by, it was about just under 2 seconds, and that gap has now creeped back down to 1.6. Here they go, side by side again. Cindric, good run through 1 and 2. Can he keep it off of the corner? Still on that left rear quarter panel, diving it into 3 and 4. Bowman's going to have a good run here. And will maintain the lead yet again. And another failed attempt by Austin Cindric to wrestle the lead away from that Hendrick machine. Now the lead has really dwindled down. 1.3 seconds back to third place, Ryan Blaney. Didn't battle him up that time by, so maybe that widened the gap just a little bit, as now Bubba Wallace is now starting to think about getting to the inside of the 12. Did the gap widen at all that time by? No, shrunk a little bit, not as much, but Cindric maybe thinking a different line here through 1 and 2. Is that going to be the magic to get him around the 48? He's now going to dive it once again here to the inside. Got a good run off of 2, but again, that 48, or really just anybody on that middle groove, just so strong. Just not able to pass over there. So we approach halfway. Bowman hanging on to the race lead. Cindric right there. They gained a little bit that time on the 12 and the 23. About 1.3 seconds back to third place, Blaney. Not much else shuffling. Chastain's fallen back to 8th. Bell has now settled into 7th. With Ryan Preece here at the tail end of this top 10. Our second group, that's Chase Elliott, Brad Keselowski, and Josh Berry. They've fallen away from the leaders. There you see Allmendinger, Hocevar, John Hunter Nemechek, and Chris Buescher. The other ones basically all within 7 seconds of the race lead, as now we got more side-by-side action here. Christopher Bell trying to get around a fellow Toyota in Tyler Reddick. We get a chance here in the 3 and 4. Reddick's going to have that push on the outside. Bell exits the corner a lot better, though. And now, Bell able to move up into 6th. And whoa, Austin Cindric. Did Alex Bowman pit? I think Bowman has opened up our next round of pit stops. Indeed he has, and he pit by himself. Oh, my goodness. That's interesting. Uh-oh, 23 and the 20 leaning on each other. They keep it green, though, as our next round of pit stops. And the window is open. A lot of Fords this time by. The 2, the 12, and the 60. Bring it down into the pits. See, I think that's Ty Gibbs that just pitted ahead of these guys. Yes, indeed. 48's out of the pits, but he, again, pit by himself. Hamlin ducks into the pits, but a bunch of the other leaders elect to stay out, including Bubba Wallace. So this is your lead pack right now, the 23, the 22, and the 20. 3 of the leaders that have yet to bring it down into pit lane. This is really going to mix the strategy up as we get ready to hit the 50 laps to go here in Las Vegas. Bubba slowing. That means he's coming in. 22 and the 20 bringing in the 9 and the 6. 51 of Cody Ware is yet to pit, but now him and Ty Dillon will join these guys. So will the 4 and the 41. There's your 48. Where will he ultimately cycle out, as he was the one that opened the pit window? We keep our eye here on Alex Bowman, who was the leader. I wondered why the 2 all of a sudden ballooned up to those cars in front of him. Here's the 2, and there's Alex. This should cycle Bowman out as the leader. At the line, 9th. There's Bubba. That was the one in question, and I believe, yes, indeed, it's going to cycle out to Alex Bowman. Austin Cindric again in 2nd, but the gap even wider now. This cars merge back into the field. So we keep it nice and green. Alex Bowman indeed is the leader. Cindric comes out 2nd. How about Ross Chastain? He comes out 3rd. So they will now go by our one of 2 cars off the lead lap now. It looks like Austin Hill is off the lead lap. And Ricky Stenhouse is going to join him and mix in with these leaders. That is indeed how it settles out. Bowman 1st, Cindric 2nd, Ross Chastain 3rd, Tyler Reddick 4th, Denny Hamlin 5th, Blaney 6th. Bubba ends up 7th, 8th for Ryan Preece. Carson Hocevar cycles out 9th. Joey Logano in 10th. Bell falls all the way back to 11th. Barry 12th. Dinger 13th. JHN battling Chase Elliott for 14th. That's the lap car of Hill. Chris Buescher still mired further back. William Byron, who started 35th today, now gunning for 17th from Ty Gibbs. As whoa! Contact! And Hocevar! And Stenhouse! Big time wreck on the backstretch! That's going to bring out our first caution of the day! Hocevar, end over end. Josh Berry collected. Oh my goodness, what a way for our first yellow to come out. Pace car will pick up the leaders on the backstretch. But a big time wreck coming off of turn number 2 that has put us under the yellow for the first time today. And will everybody come down into the pits? Just Bowman. It looks like, other than damaged cars, Bowman has come down to pit road, and he will sacrifice the track position. But a big-time wreck involving Josh Berry, Carson Hocevar, A.J. Allmendinger, and Christopher Bell. That has put us under the first yellow here at lap 62 here in Vegas. Let's go back and take a look and see what happened. A big one on the backstretch. Coming out of turn number 2, and it started with them trying to negotiate the lap car of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You see them here catching the 47, the 77, and the 22. They go 3 wide into the corner. 22 slides up. 47's got a better run. They don't make contact through the 22 and the 77, but then the 77 and the 47 do. And the 47 puts the 77 into the fence, and then boom, comes down into the 20. Nowhere to go for these guys. 21 plows in, and the 77's on his lid. 16 gets the piece of it, but Hocevar's going to get the worst of it. He tumbles side over side, end over end. He's going to boom on top of the 21. Pirouette on the nose. But I think the lucky for Hocevar is he ends up on all fours, but that ride, the Dente Chili's Chevrolet, is nothing but dented up. I don't think anybody else really got into the mix. Didn't appear they did, so that's what has us under caution number 1. Here in Las Vegas, Bowman pits out of the lead, going into the caution. Let's see how it all shook out. So Alex Bowman pits out of the lead for this caution here on lap 62 of 107 scheduled. 2 cars out of the race, Carson Hocevar and Josh Berry, both involved in that incident on the backstretch. 4 cars off the lead lap, the 33 of Austin Hill, the 20 of Christopher Bell, the 16 of A.J. Allmendinger, the 20 and the 16 being involved in the caution. Ricky Stenhouse, also involved in the caution, was already off the lead lap. That leaves us with 31 on the lead lap. And Bowman with the head-scratching decision to pit right after they had the pit cycle, mind you. But sacrifices all that track position. I guess to either top the car off or get a full tank of gas, and knowing that if this goes green to the finish, you're going to have to pit one more time. I'm mind blown by that decision. So top 10 as we get ready to get back to green. Lights are out atop the pace car. Austin Cindric, who led the early going, he is first. Ross Chastain is second. Tyler Reddick third. Denny Hamlin fourth. Ryan Blaney is fifth. Then Bubba Wallace is sixth. Ryan Preece seventh. Joey Logano eighth. Chase Elliott is ninth. And John Hunter Nemechek will round out the top 10. The points leader, Chris Buescher, right there in 11th. How about William Byron? He has climbed his way up to 12th after starting 35th on the grid today. Kozlowski 13th, Connor Zilich is 14th, and BJ McLeod will round out the top 15 as these guys will get ready to split into double file. And we will go back green at lap 66 of 107. That's going to leave us 42 laps with, I believe, just one pit stop left to go. I could be wrong. I've been wrong plenty of times before. As Austin Cindric and Ross Chastain will lead the field back to the green. Chastain 21st in points. Wouldn't he love an opportunity to win big today? As we get back to green, Chastain with a good jump on the restart. That outside line is where you want to be, as we have seen so far today. But on these restarts, everyone's pretty much even keel. Cindric with the advantage on the inside. Does he have enough to muscle by the one? As they come off of turn number 4, side by side still, Chastain leading at the line. As they come down into the corner, these guys getting a little bit leaning on each other here, as Chastain didn't have the best run through 1 and 2. That's going to vault the 2 to the lead. Still side by side further back as these guys try to settle it out. That's Blaney battling John Hunter Nemechek for position. Logano slides down and nearly hooked the 45 of Tyler Reddick as they exited 2. My goodness, that was close. It looks like they're all going to be A-OK for the time being, maybe. Goodness gracious. Good racing here behind the 2 leaders. Cindric settles into the lead. Hamlin throwing it to the inside. Not enough of a run, though. He settles into 3rd. Bubba 4th. Tyler Reddick 5th. Battles on for 6th between John Hunter Nemechek and the 22 of Joey Logano, but it looks like Logano will win the battle and settle into 6th. More side-by-side action back here. The 24 and Buescher trying to get by each other. As Byron settles behind his teammate, Connor Zilich trying to knock on the door of the top 10. He has the preferred line here in the 1 and 2, but Buescher with a solid run is going to be able to clear the 88. There's Eric Jones just on the cusp of the top 15. He climbed his way up to 4th in points with his run at Phoenix. And again, give another call to BJ McLeod. This guy is just going to continue to get contract extensions. A guy that was supposed to run just a part-time schedule this year finds himself in the top 15 once again. He's already got 2 top 10s, and he's close to getting himself another one. Unbelievable stuff from this 78 camp. Let's check on the 48, who pitted out of the race lead. Leaning there on Noah Gragson. He is all the way back right now. He is fighting Gragson for 25th. It's back here with a teammate, though, in Kyle Larson. But, again, just another case of why did you pit when you did? And that might be a head-scratcher. At least it is for this broadcaster. See some cars way off the pace here. Christopher Bell and A.J. Allmendinger. That might cause a problem, to say the least, when we get down close to the finish of this one, as Austin Cindric has the lead. Chastain under fire for 2nd. Trying to hang on that outside line. That's what Austin Cindric wants to see. It's Bubba trying to wrestle that 2nd spot away. They're running up on that lap car of the 16. That could potentially cause a problem, depending on where they catch him. He is way off the pace. Cindric's going to go by on the outside. No! Dinger spins into 1, and now we're going to have a big crash here on in turn number 1 and 2. The big one strikes here in Las Vegas. That's going to take out a host of cars. B.J. McLeod. Cole Custer, a massive crash in turn number 2. And the leader, Austin Cindric, was one of the byproducts of it. Holy cow. That took out just about everybody. Ricky Stenhouse and Austin Dillon back here. I would not be surprised if some penalties come out of this. Cindric tried to go around the outside of the 16, and it did not pan out whatsoever. And is that the end of the day for the 2? No, he's going to get service and get it back out there, but let's go back and see what happened. Big time accident in turns 1 and 2 here in Vegas at lap 71. Just an unbelievable crash that took out a lot of good cars, and it started, and I had a sneaky suspicion that this was going to cause a problem when they were running up on the slower 16. He just caught him at the wrong spot, it feels like. I mean, there you go. They collide right there. 16 goes spinning. Really, the 2 kept on trucking without much further damage. It's what happened when the 16 came back up into the traffic. And it was just a melee from there. Bubba trying to get out of the way, Makes contact with the 24. Did our points leader get in this? Yeah, he did. Busher up into the wall hard. So another tough day for our points leader. And then I just saw B.J. McLeod just go flying. These cars tried to avoid this mess. My goodness. It's when they collided with the 16. Boom. Up into the wall, into the catch fence they went. Jones on his lid, and then everybody else just bottlenecks up the track. Nowhere to go for anybody. SVG gets a piece. Cody Ware. 17 goes spinning. 24 goes spinning. The 88 of Zilich got collected. That's not going to show us anything. Further up, Ty Gibbs, Austin Hill, the lap car, Zane Smith, Todd Gilliland, Alex Bowman gets caught up in the melee. Not sure how much he really did get, though. Sideswipe by the 16. 24 gets him on the side, his teammate. And again, I don't know how much damage that really caused the 48. But that is what has put us under the yellow. Let's go back and see who's left. Lights still on top of the pace cars. They continue to clean things up here in Las Vegas. Ross Chastain has assumed the race lead. Don't let that Austin Cindric car fool you. He will drop to the back. But we have had a host of cars now out of the race. Only had 2 cars out of the race prior to that wreck, but that one took out half the field. A.J. Allmendinger, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ty Dillon, Austin Dillon, B.J. McLeod, we had talked about, was just having a good run. He's out. Connor Zilich, William Byron, who had just worked his way through the field after starting way back, he's out of the race. Chris Busher, our points leader, is going to finish 28th today. Not a good run for him, getting caught up in that. Eric Jones, who had just climbed up to 4th in points, he's out. Ty Gibbs, Zane Smith, Kyle Larson, Noah Gregson, Cody Ware. The cars out of the race. There'll be 4 off the lead lap. Cindric, Bell, Austin Hill, and Chase Briscoe. To leave us with 17 left in the race. And let's roll through them as we are just inside 30 to go. Ross Chastain is the leader. Denny Hamlin second. Joey Logano third. Tyler Reddick 4th. Chase Elliott is 5th. John Hunter Nemechek in 6th. Brad Kay 7th. Ryan Blaney 8th. Ryan Preece 9th. Daniel Suarez will round out the top 10. Riley Herbst 11th. Michael McDowell 12th. SVG 13th with a little bit of damage. Same for Alex Bowman in 14th. Bubba Wallace with some damage is 15th. Cole Custer 16th. And then Todd Gilliland, last on the lead lap, was also involved in that incident. He will restart 17th. Those are your 17 on the lead lap. as the big one not very often comes out here at Las Vegas, but it happens today. And Ross Chastain for Trackhouse will lead the group back to the green. Denny Hamlin for Gibbs. Would love nothing more than a good run today, and with a lot of his adversaries ahead of him in points struggling, could be a big day for the Gibbs camp as Hamlin gets a good jump on the restart, and we're back underway here in Las Vegas. We're going to definitely see who's up to speed and who's not, as Hamlin takes the lead away from Chastain, but how long will that last? Chastain to the inside as they head into 3 and 4. Good run for the one. Can he clear Hamlin off the corner? Logano sticks it to the inside. 3 wide. Tyler Reddick's around on the front stretch. And that throws and brings the yellow out once again. Leaders will race it back, but Tyler Reddick second in points. Has a spin on the front stretch to bring out another caution. Chastain will be the leader at the line. Hamlin comes out second. Logano third. Elliott fourth. Preece fifth. Keselowski sixth. John Hunter Nemechek seventh. Riley Herbst eighth. Ryan Blaney ninth. And Alex Bowman up to 10th. I don't think that damage did hurt him a lot, as he has emerged back here in the top 10, but we are under the caution for the spinning Tyler Reddick on the front stretch, and let's go back and see what happened. As we drop back here, let's see what happened to that 45 Toyota. Got John Hunter Nemechek behind him as they slid up here. Let's go slow. 6 came up and then ran the 45 up, and then he plows into the fence, gets a little help from the 42, and spins down the front straightaway. SVG just skating by on the outside as Reddick gets up into the fence, and that's enough to put the yellow out. He did correct it, but regardless, that's what put us under the yellow once again here in Las Vegas, as we continue to close in here on the finish. Pit stops have just transpired here. And Ross Chastain does emerge as the leader once again. Logano will now be second. Chase Elliott third. John Hunter Nemechek fourth. Riley Herbst fifth. Brad Keselowski sixth. SVG seventh. Daniel Suarez will come out eighth. Ninth for Michael McDowell, his teammate. Bowman comes out 10th. As it looks like some cars, I think, decided to roll the dice. And it looks like Hamlin decided to go all 4 tires as he pitted second, and he's going to come out 12th behind Bubba. Custer 13th, Blaney 14th, Preece 15th, and then Gilliland 16th. Reddick will be 17th last on the field. So that is indeed how it cycles out. So looks like some cars deciding to roll the dice. And why not for some of these guys? Riley Herbst, 5th on the racetrack, 27th in points, only 1 top 5 on the year. Rolling the dice here, really just that, third car at 23-11 that has not had the best of starts to the year. I mean, Bubba's 24th, but he has been consistent, just having some rotten luck in the late going. How about John Hunter Nemechek? For Legacy Motor Club, Matt McIntyre's group with Cody Lamas. He's 23rd in points, had a top 10 last week at Phoenix. And he's up here in the 4th position in a really solid spot to either have a great finish or come out on top with the win. Wouldn't that be something for that group? His teammate Eric Jones was caught up in that massive accident. Jones 4th in points. He finishes 27th today. Not going to be a good points day for him. Really, the points is really going to shuffle after today. It is really going to mix up, and it's going to get really interesting as we mosey along on this season. Game's going to look weird for a second here while I pull up our schedule where we'll be heading to next after Las Vegas. We're set to go to Darlington, as these guys will go by the 19 of Chase Briscoe, who is going to be off the lead lap. And that's right, Darlington is next. The Goodyear 400 will be our 6th race of the year. If you go by the real NASCAR season for 2026, Martinsville and Bristol will follow, but as we know with NR, it can be really dicey on the short tracks in terms of putting out good quality races, so we may not be at Martinsville or Bristol after Darlington. Just wait and see. You can follow us on Discord. Invite link is down in the description as to where we'll end up going for those 2 races after Darlington. But right now, we still got to settle a score here in Vegas. Ross Chastain will restart as the leader. We'll have 23 laps to settle it. And outside has been the place to be today. So will Joey Logano have an opportunity here? And with the troubles of Buescher and Reddick, it could be Logano that comes out with the points lead when all is said and done. Green flag back in the air. Chastain, a decent restart. 22, a better one. Chase Elliott right there on the back bumper of the 1, trying to help a fellow Chevrolet. Suarez diving low back there to the inside of Keselowski. As they continue to navigate, Chastain into the race lead. Elliott trying to garner second away from Logano. As they come off the corner, it's nearly 3 wide back there for 4th as JHN settles in, claiming 4th. Suarez going to the inside of Herbst for 5th. Logano gets a good run off the corner and is able to get by Chase, and now JHN can think about getting by the 9. Alex Bowman trying to fight his way back up after a very questionable pit call. He settles now, or maybe settles as they make contact back there. Hamlin's around. Caution will wave, and he's plastered by the 60 of Ryan Preece. And both of their days are done. Holy smokes! Chastain led at the time of caution as the pace car picks everybody up, and we're going to keep it here as we're going to watch these pit stops, if they so choose. Oh, no, they're not. Okay. They will not pit. Logano 2nd, Elliott 3rd, JHN 4th, Herbst 5th, Suarez 6th, Keselowski 7th, Blaney 8th, Bowman 9th, McDowell 10th. But we are back under the caution as Denny Hamlin, who had a solid day up to this point, crashes and collects Ryan Preece. Let's go back and see what happened to the staple, one of the staples at Gibbs Racing, Denny Hamlin. You'll watch him here into turn 4. 6 in the 48 made contact. The 11 gets out of shape and then gets turned by the 97, and then boom, up into the 60. Nowhere to go for Ryan Preece, unfortunately. And they come to a screeching halt. Let's back it up again. Just watch slowly here. Makes the 48 really booted the 11 into the fence, and there's really nothing SVG could have done right there. I think right there is when Hamlin lost the engine. Now, when the 97 made contact, that's when the engine went up. And again, just unlucky for Ryan Preece. So the 11 gets the top side of the wall, and everybody else able to scoot on by. But an unfortunate day to the end of this one for Denny Hamlin. 8th in points entering. Ryan Preece was 34th. And it's going to continue to be a struggle bus for the 60 out of RFK as we're back under the yellow once again. Inside 20 to go here in Vegas. They did not pit. So Ross Chastain going to hang on to this race lead. With Logano second, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that Logano will assume the points lead after today, and Keselowski might be right behind him in second. We'll wait and see if Keselowski can stay out of trouble and finish well. We should get the one to go this next time by. That'll make it. We'll go green at lap 91 of 107. As Chastain continues to do well here in the late going. Hamlin and Priest, our next two victims. That puts us with 19 on the racetrack, 15 on the lead lap. With Cole Custer last in 15th. It's going to be a solid day for several drivers who have been needing solid days. Knock on wood, mind you. You look at Michael McDowell, he is last amongst the drivers that have run every race so far this year. It has been the struggle bus for Michael McDowell. An average finish of 32nd this season so far. And he finds himself 10th right now on the racetrack. Just trying, he's been quiet. He's just trying to keep the car clean. And he's in a decent spot to have a good finish today. His teammate Daniel Suarez is up in 6th. Suarez is 22nd in points. For Spire Motorsports. For James Qualls and Rafael Leduc. Carson Hocevar 9th in points. He's out of the race. So it's up to his teammates to make it a good day for Spire. Mentioned JHN. He's in 4th. He has been just methodically picking his way through. Avoided the big accident. Same with Riley Herbst behind him. And it's going to set themselves up for good success here towards the end of this one. But Ross Chastain carrying the mantle right now for Trackhouse. You got a teammate further back, the 97 of SVG, trying to just hang on after nearly getting a ton of damage in that last wreck. But right now the focus is on the one, the Kubota Chevrolet, as we get ready to go back to green. 17 laps to go. Logano on the outside, Chastain on the inside. As they go through the gears, green flag back in the air in Vegas. Half a car length here for Logano as they head for one. Reddick not with a lot of speed back there as he drops further back. It's the one trying to hang on to that race lead. Trying to wrestle it away from Joey Logano. Elliott with helping him on the inside. 22 gets a decent run off the corner as they're 3 wide back there. Keselowski in company trying to settle things out. Herbst is in the middle. That's going to get dicey as they head down into the corner. And Keselowski and Herbst spin. That's going to bring the yellow back out. And Logano has the race lead. But an unfortunate break for Riley Herbst. Chastain comes out second. Elliott third, JHN fourth. Bowman ends up fifth. Out of all that, Blaney sixth, Killian seventh, McDowell eighth, SVG ninth, and Reddick will be the top 10. Keselowski was kind of the sandwich in that mess. But that has put us back under the caution here at lap 93. Inside 15 to go. Are we thinking pit stops yet again? Yes, we are for the 22, but the 71 is going to surrender 8th and come down and get service. And is going to drop him back likely to 15th on the grid. So the 35 comes down to get his pit stop. Looks like, well, maybe the 71. Did he get a piece of that incident? I'm not totally sure. But as for the 35, his day is done as you see him take the car behind the wall. So it looks like the 71, if I'm not mistaken, did get a piece of that wreck. So why don't we go back, see what happened to the 35 of Riley Herbst. You saw it, but let's get this replay as we are closing in on 10 to go here in Las Vegas. All right, let's take a look here. Really a sandwich here. I was worried about it as they entered one. Suarez on the outside, Keselowski on the bottom. 35 and the 6 make the initial contact. 7 gets hooked into the fence along with the 6. 35 gets the worst of it. And luckily for Riley, no one else really slammed into him, but the damage was already done. 19 was the last car in line, and that was it. So really just running out of real estate. Bowman gave a really good push to the 6 into the corner. I'm going to be intrigued how much damage the 6 and the 7 do. They have. Big-time right side damage, at least for Daniel Suarez. Just a tough, unlucky break. Great run on the day for Riley Herbst. He's 27th in points entering today. Going to still get a decent finish with the amount of cars we have out of the race, but not going to be the finish the 35 camp was hoping for. Light still on the pace car. Should get the one to go next time by as Joey Logano has taken the race lead. Ross Chastain has now settled into second. The one car out of the race, Riley Herbst, going to get a top 20, so still may be able to gain some points, but definitely was hoping for a better points-paying day, but is the lone casualty from that incident. 14 cars remain on the lead lap. Michael McDowell, the only car that pitted under that caution. I think they didn't have to fix any damage, so they just got that puppy full of fuel to make sure he is good to go to the finish. But it's Logano, Chastain, Elliott, the top 3, followed by John Hunter Nemechek, who's had a stranglehold on 4th place. Alex Bowman has made his way up to 5th. 2 restarts ago was 10th. He has methodically been picking his way through the field. Made that questionable pit stop decision at the first caution. And then gets around the majority of the bad wreck. Got into it a little bit, but not enough to hurt the car. He finds himself 5th. Ryan Blaney is 6th. Todd Gilliland 7th. SVG will restart 8th. Tyler Reddick 9th. Keselowski 10th. Bubba 11th. Suarez with damage. He will restart 12th. Cole Custer 13th. And then the last on the lead lap, Michael McDowell. He will restart 14th. So 14 cars to really decide who's going to win this race. It's been quite the interesting one. Pretty pedestrian through the first 60 laps, and then over the last 40, it has been a melee, including that big wreck. But it could be setting up for quite the finish. As the 22 and the 1 will be the group that get them back to the green. Now Chastain is in the preferred line. That outside has been keen today. Will it be keen again for the 1? Or will the 22 just show that full muscle on the bottom? We go back green with the 11 laps to go. And a great restart for the Hendrick duo on the inside line. Alex Bowman, is he going to jump immediately on that group? He immediately sticks it 3 wide to the inside of his teammate Chase Elliott and will drop the 42 further back. Meanwhile, on the inside, Joey Logano trying to keep the race lead from the 1 of Ross Chastain. Hendrick teammates side by side in the 3 and 4 as they come to 10 to go. Chastain, I think, maybe got a chunk of the wall right there. The 22 hanging tough on the inside. The 9's going to go high and go with the Chevrolet. Chastain muscling it off of 2, and he's got the race lead. Bowman going for 3rd to the inside of his teammate Chase Elliott. Didn't get the run he wanted, though, and now under fire from the 12. They are still green. Chase Elliott diving to the inside of Joey Logano for 2nd. Will he have the momentum into turns 1 and 2? Maybe not, as Logano muscles it off the corner. So after it all shuffles out, Elliott 3rd, now under attack by Bowman once again. Blaney to 5th. JHN falls back to 6th. Todd Gilliland 7th. Brad Keselowski is 8th. Michael McDowell has rebounded to 9th, and SVG runs 10th. In the meantime, with 7 to go, Ross Chastain has the lead. How long will he keep it, though? That is the question, as Ryan Blaney now dives into the inside of Chase Elliott, trying to get third away from the Napa Chevrolet. Bowman right there in that mix. He goes to the inside of the 12. The 9 getting a good run off the corner, but the 12 hanging tough. Thought JHN might go after the 48 right there. In the meantime, it's still those guys up towards the front. Blaney muscles it into 1 and 2 and gets third away from Chase. And now Bowman to the inside of Elliott for 4th. Look now. Here comes Logano trying to get the lead away from Chastain. Chastain with a good run off of 3 and 4, and he'll hang on to it for the time being. It's going to be 6 to go here at the stripe. Logano's second, his teammate Blaney is third. The Hendrick duo battling each other for 4th with a John Hunter Nemechek Toyota in the mix. Elliott able to settle in, hang on to 4th. The battle will be then on for 5th. As they've broken away from the rest of the pack. 5 to go. Chastain trying to hang on to the race lead. Joey Logano is second. He's got a teammate in Ryan Blaney right behind him in third. Chastain's really on an island right now. If he wants to win this race, he's going to have to hold off a really hungry Ford duo. Here comes the 22 once again to the inside of the 1 of Chastain. Not going to have the run, though, but Blaney going to try and help his teammate. Will he, though, or is he going to stick it to the inside of his teammate? That's what Chastain wants to see. Or will the 22 let the 12 go by, knowing the 12's got better speed? Side by side for the Penske duo through 1 and 2. That'll open the gap for Chastain. 12 did not have a good enough run there, and now really Logano's going to have one more shot to try and run down the 1. No lap traffic for these guys really to worry about. So we have 3 laps to settle it. Logano's starting to suck back up here to the 1. Chevy's starting to creep back into the mix too, but time's starting to run out. When will Logano make his move? Come to the line. It'll be 2 laps to go. Down the front stretch. We've seen passes work in turns 1 and 2 today. When will Logano decide to make it? 3 and 4 has not been keen today to make passes on the inside. Down the back stretch they come. You got to put a blanket over the top 3. Chastain, Logano, and Blaney. Coming out of 3 and 4, they'll see the white flag. Ross Chastain for Trackhouse Racing trying to make the pass on the restart pay off. The white flag in the air in Las Vegas. 22 with a decent run through 1 and 2. Right up to the back bumper of Chastain. When will Logano decide to stick it to the inside? Into 3 and 4 they go. Chastain blocking the bottom. Slides up just a little bit. Logano peeking to the inside, but it's not going to work out. Chastain will win in Las Vegas. Right as they caught up to the 19. Oh, wow, what a finish. A melee of cautions in the back half of this race, but it proved to work out in the long run. Ross Chastain for Trackhouse Racing, Jack Mitchell and Seth Cole here in race 5 find their way to victory lane after a tough start to the year. Oh, so close for the Penske duo, Logano and Blaney, but Logano, you'll get a consolation prize. You will more than likely assume the points lead after today. Chase Elliott ends up 4th, a good run. Bowman rebounds after that questionable pit decision. He ends up 5th. Let's make it official, why don't we? Before anything else crazy happens, as the Pennzoil 400 goes to Ross Chastain holding off 2 Pennzoil cars, mind you, to get it done. Good run for John Hunter Nemechek. He brings it home 6th. His second top 10 of the year. Brad Keselowski ends up 7th. Great day for Michael McDowell. He needed that. He ends up 8th. He was 37th in points. He ends up 8th today. Todd Gilliland with a great points day. He ends up 9th. And then Tyler Reddick, he ends up in 10th. Gets a top 10 out of it, his 3rd of the year. But he will get passed up by Joey Logano as Reddick only had a 2-point advantage on Logano. It'll be interesting to see how the points shakes out, but either way, Logano more than likely going to be the points leader after today. SVG ends up bringing it home 11th. 12th for Daniel Suarez. Bubba Wallace 13th. Cole Custer last on the field. Brings it home 14th. The top 15 for Austin Hill off the lead lap. Cindric, Bell, and Briscoe round out the field. There's the rest of the group that crashed out earlier in the race. Half the field gone. Half the field brought us, though, a really good finish here today in Las Vegas. But now we leave the West Coast and we head to Darlington. Coming up next here in the NASCAR Mock season, congratulations to Trackhouse Racing's Ross Chastain, your race winner here in Las Vegas. For our entire team here at Mock Season Central and the NASCAR Mock season, I'm Carlos Zimmerman, wishing you a great rest of your day, and we will see you at Darlington, the Lady in Black, our next stop on the journey of the 2026 NASCAR Mock season. As always, friends, stay safe, have a pleasant tomorrow, and God bless.